My journey with Numa was completely by chance. I had just quit my job in branding and was figuring out what to do next. So I was actually growing strawberries in the south of France when a friend of mine sent me an email saying, "Hey, have you heard of them? They're looking for a service designer." I was like, yeah, I don't think they'd be interested, but okay, I want to sleep peacefully at night, so I'll send them an email and see what comes out, because I was really, I didn't think, there's a lot of talk about design, meaningful design in France, but very few people actually doing it. So I was very, very skeptical when I wrote to Numa. It changed when I actually met the team. I met the team and my interview lasted 4.5 hours. Several of them, it included some beer and some white wine, all well. And yeah, I was really excited. I had no clue what exactly I was going to do until I joined the team, and that's how it is for everybody. Well, I'm glad that we met. And it's been what keeps me excited about working with Numa and doing what I do is, without too much exaggeration, really, you get to change someone's mind every day about something. So yeah, that's what my favorite part about working with Numa is. And you meet the most intelligent people. Yes. When you think that, oh wow, I've just met the most intelligent person this year, 2 days later you're meeting somebody else. So yes, the kind of people you meet and how it constantly keeps you stimulated. No. How did I end up in Paris? Just I wanted to see something else, but I did not want to go to an English-speaking country because I wanted to learn a new language. And also, education in France is not very expensive. It's very, very affordable because they're encouraging international students through scholarships, etc. So I call it the advantage of being brown. I got a good scholarship, which meant that I almost did not have to pay for my education. And I stayed. Yeah, it was 10 years back. That is a possibility. What we've noticed over the last 2 days is the problems that are being solved are very similar here as they were in France 2 years back. So what we're seeing now is the kind of pictures that we saw maybe a year or two back in France, because these things are just coming to India now, things like collaborative consumption, etc. And a lot of good ideas which can scale internationally. So we've had startups in Numa, Paris, that have gone to the US because they needed some kind of vertical acceleration. So in terms of mentorship, if there is a clear need that is identified, which can be solved, which can be met somewhere else, a startup that needs to be elsewhere because that is the right market for them, I think that should be possible, definitely. And also what is going to be what I think is most important is an international resource of mentors and experts that they can dig into. So no matter where you are, you want an expert in data that is based, he could be across the globe, but we have him in our network, so you can benefit from that. Actually, it has a very, very similar energy as Numa in Paris. So we felt instantly at home. And I think it has great potential in terms of ecosystem. What I am thinking about after looking at all the startups and listening to what the mentors have to say is how can we be international and still be locally relevant. There are very few startups that we've seen so far that are actually solving local problems. So what can we do, or how can we work here with companies to create some impact that is specific to the Indian context? I think that's what would make us meaningful here, because we have the resources and we have the vision to do that. Most people tend to think that it's all about the idea, but it's not about the idea. It's about what you do with it. So it's not about the idea, it's more about execution. And at the end of the day, it's all about the team. So if there's one thing that anybody has to bet on, or you have to bet on, it has to be you and your team. I think that is the most important, which somehow is underestimated everywhere, the importance of team. So what do I want to say? I'm hoping to come back and work more with Nima Bangalore. Yes, it's actually the first time that I'm working in India, so it was a super stressful uh, idea until I came here. And I'm hoping I can actually be involved in a few projects out of here. Okay, so I trained as a service designer. What excites me is the whole process of problem solving. What is the problem you're trying to solve, and how are you going to go from a problem to a prototype or a completely viable solution, keeping your users on board. So that is what excites me, whether it's for a startup or a big company. And I work with both startups and corporates who are trying to develop products and services. So what basically I help them out with is your product market fit, and how are you going to integrate your end user in the entire experience that you're creating. What is particularly exciting about working with startups is that you can see the impact right away, because you're not dealing with a massive company and heavy processes. You can do things quick and dirty and see the impact. So there's a lot more instant gratification when you're working with a startup as opposed to with a company.